What is up, everybody? This is Matt with the Hardcover Comic, and tonight we are going over The Vision. That's right, Tom King, Gabriel Walta, Jordi Belair, The Vision, Eisner Award winner. Now, prior to me, this is also going to be a little bit of a review as well. Spoiler-free review. I actually just spent the last 90 minutes binging this book, and it's good. So anyways, this is the dust jacket for it. Basically have the Vision family tree, what that is. Then kind of your Marvel spine, nothing too fancy. Once again, the character art on the bottom though, gotta love that. And you have the back here, $40 US. Cover price, obviously IST, places like that you can get it much cheaper. Removing the cover. So I actually love this design. It's really awesome. So first of all, that is not a water stain for me. That is actually the design of the book. And then when you flip it over, looks like there's water stains all over the back of the book as well. Really kind of cool and smart on their behalf. Kind of looks like a family portrait, like a photo album. Water stains. So when you get in close, I don't know if you guys can really see that. It looks textured, right? It looks kind of like a photo album, like the texture of a photo album. So that's what I was expecting when I took the jacket off and I went to go grab it, and I'm like, wait, it's smooth. It's hard to explain. It almost feels like rubber, I guess you could say. It's kind of odd. But anyways, moving in. So this book covers the Tom King Vision issues 1 through 12, and then there's a ton of extras in the back after you finish 1 through 12. So I don't really want to do any spoilers or anything, but here's the book. Sits pretty well for the most part. A little tight binding in the beginning, though. Actually, I'm not going to lie, really tight binding in the beginning, but after you kind of break it in and read through it, it's really solid. Sorry, I don't want to try to accidentally spoil anything for you guys. Glued binding. There are no seams or anything in here. This is a glued binding. Now, a lot of people are not fans of this. A lot of people are kind of upset with the fact that Marvel went with a glued binding rather than sewn for this book. Couple other things too that people are kind of upset about that I want to touch base with and kind of discuss what I've discovered in my book. And that is the fact that the pages are very thin. It's not like a Marvel omnibus. This almost feels honestly like a Marvel trade paperback book. That's how thin the pages are. It really kind of feels like a trade paperback. Not necessarily a bad thing. It just makes it a much thinner book than what it could be. I mean, it's 488 pages in all with extras and everything, and it looks like it might be 200 pages when you close the book. I mean, it is that thin. But that being said, because the pages are so thin, it does create a couple of problems. Let me go to the back real quick and I'll show you guys what I mean. So because the book, you guys can kind of see it right here, the kind of wave in the pages. The reason being, and it's only a little bit in the back, my book is actually not that bad. I've seen others' books where it's much more noticeable than mine. I did get mine through IST, $20, not gonna complain. But it's only the first few pages in the back and then like a page or two of mine in the front. But it does have that wave, and the reason why it has that wave is because, well, the pages are so thin. You print a book, well, what do you print? You're printing ink on a book, right? It's wet. And the pages are so thin that the consensus is that it didn't really get a chance to dry before being packaged and things, so it kind of created those little kind of waves in there. Something else that other people see, it's kind of tight binding. A couple other things that people didn't like really is when they look at the top of the book, you can kind of see it a little bit in the very first few pages of mine. Let's see if it goes into focus here. It's kind of wavy. And a lot of but once again, mine is not, it's not going into focus, I apologize. But once again, mine is not nearly as bad as some of the other ones I've seen. And a lot of that is just humidity issues. Once it dries out, the waves, it'll straighten out and it'll go back to normal. So, I mean, it's nothing really to stress or worry about. You can kind of see a little bit of waves in there. But overall, I've seen much worse than what I received. So, I don't know. I know some people are going to be ordering from Amazon this Tuesday. So, it is a possibility. Obviously, we haven't seen what the Amazon books look like. Only what, our shops had and or in stock trades. But overall, a great book. Now, going into it, we kind of discussed, the book and what's in the book. And the one thing that I really wanted to touch base on, let me go through the extras real quick. So, a lot of the extras that we have here, like I said, there's a lot of extras. So it starts off with just all the different covers. For all the different issues, all the variant covers, things like that, for all the different issues. Once you get past all the amazing artwork and the covers, you get into the letters pages. And this is actually kind of cool they included this. So you have the letter pages right here for each issue, all 12 issues. And then after that, it kind of dives into the script for each issue, sort of like a director's cut, if you will, and kind of shows, this is how it's written out. And it's kind of cool to see the behind the scenes work, I guess you could say, of how writers and artists work together and how they have it designed. So that's kind of neat. And once again, it's for each and every issue. Like I said, lots of extras, all 12 issues. And then that's kind of it for the extras. So you have all the different covers, the variant covers, the letters pages, and then really sort of a director's cut for all the issues. But the other thing that I kind of wanted to discuss is the story itself. Like I said, I just spent the last 90 minutes binging this book. Everybody kept talking about how amazing it was. It was so incredible, and I really needed to check it out. And so I'm like, all right, let's do this. And wow, that's all I can say. It is amazing. There is a reason why the New York Times called this book a comic book masterpiece. Tom King destroyed in this. It is so incredibly good. Now, I'm not normally a big fan of Vision in general as a character, right? He's, Avengers, West Coast Avengers, etc. But I'm kind of like, it's Vision, whatever. Right? He's not been like a big fan of mine. And in this book, I mean, wow, it is so incredibly good. There's some definite tear-jerker moments. It just takes you on an emotional roller coaster right now. There's some waves right there you can see. It just takes you on this like crazy emotional roller coaster ride where you feel everything from happiness to sadness. You want to cry, you want to scream. Tom King, man, a marvelous, marvelous work. It's really good. And I'm actually going to be meeting Tom King next month, so I'm going to have him sign my book. But yeah, super, super, super amazing. If you have not picked up this book, like I said, you can get it easily way undercover. Grab it. You will not regret it. Not only is the story amazing, the bind itself is pretty good. It's a little tight. It's glued. It is what it is. You don't lose any gutter loss. But the story is so incredibly solid, so incredibly good. Not what you expect. I can promise you that right now. If you have not read this, it's not what you think. It's not what you expect. It's something completely different that's extremely satisfying. And that being said, I don't know how people read this monthly. Like when you had to wait a month for the next issue to drop, I just binged this whole thing, and I can't imagine trying to read this as it was coming out each month. I would go nuts, like waiting for the next issue. I'm so glad that I collect this way and that I binge this way, because it's such a better reading experience. But anyways, so there you have it, the Vision hardcover. Stay tuned for some more stuff. I think Mike's got some books he's going to be dropping. And until next time, the power is yours.